Hey my loves, this is Ashley Danielle and welcome back to my channel. So, have you ever been in a verbally abusive relationship? How about being in one by yourself? Hi my loves. So, when I talk to you guys, I kind of wanted to be like girl talk. Like we're just sitting here in a group or in a room, whatever, together and just talking about life and things that we can really improve on. And today I want to talk about being our inner critic. How many of you guys have ever been in a verbally abusive relationship? Now, somebody who's always criticizing how you look, what you're dressed, what you're wearing, um, things that you do, whatever it is, like all your flaws and imperfection. Now, what if I said being in a relationship with yourself? Now, hear me out. Okay, so now, imagine yourself, you just got out the shower this morning or last night, whatever. You get out the shower, you're in front of the mirror, and you're sitting there, and you're like, dang, like, I need to lose this weight, or man, I need to gain some weight, or man, these stretch marks, got on pimples, my teeth not white enough, like, I got bags under my eyes, like, you know what I mean? We've kind of, I can't even speak for everybody, but I know I have done that numerous times, and that is your inner voice being your inner critic. Like, we have to stop comparing ourselves to others. Like, say we wake up, we're scrolling through our timeline and we're like, man, like, my friend just had a kid, or my friend just got engaged, or they've been married, they're in this happy relationship, they just got this bomb job, they got a nice car, they're always traveling. Like, you gotta stop comparing yourself to others, because that's the biggest way to kind of make yourself feel so crappy. Like, stop doing it. All the time that you spend being so understanding and compassionate and loving to others, be that way with yourself. You're so critical of yourself and being hard on yourself. Like, I know for me, I'm always striving to be some perfectionist. And when I make a mistake, I'm super, 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 super critical of myself. And so I want to say that, and being an inner critic doesn't necessarily mean that you have wounds. It can be feeling like you're not enough, like not going up for that promotion because you're already telling yourself you're not going to get it, or not applying for that job because you're already telling yourself you're not going to get it, or not applying for that car because you're already telling yourself you're not going to be approved, not starting that business because you're telling yourself that you're not going to be successful. So already knocking yourself 10 steps back because you're telling yourself you're not good enough, which you're good enough. Okay. Now, I break this down into 3 sources. The first one I say is oftentimes your family is the first source of you being your own inner critic. As growing up, your parents may be really hard on you about having good grades. You need straight A's if you're going to do this. You got to go to that school if you're going to be successful. I don't wear that because it doesn't look right on you. Hair needs to look like this, or you look a hot mess. And sometimes your parents are teaching you this stuff because they're trying to get you to avoid struggle. Like, they may be so big on your appearance because they don't want people to talk about you in public, or they may be so big on you having good grades because they want you to be successful in life. But what they fail to realize is that a lot of times it causes you to feel like you're inadequate. It can cause you to be controlling, over your life, or be self-conscious, or have low self-esteem, or be judgmental of yourself. There's this quote that I read that I thought was amazing, and I'm going to read it to you guys. It says, I know what I look like doesn't define who I am, but these fears and feelings are so engraved that it takes daily reminders to change these thoughts and behaviors. Now, that was really deep to me because there are a lot of things that have been engraved in us from our childhood, and we have to, do daily affirmations or daily reminders to ourselves to get out of that. If you grew up feeling like you had to be a certain size or look a certain way to be accepted, Now, as an adult, you may still feel like that. And so you have to constantly remind yourself that you're beautiful who you are. You know, you're smart. You're working towards your job. You can get that degree. Like, you have to remind yourself daily so you can get out of that mentality. And that's okay. The second thing that I say is a source is your culture. I feel like society is literally, a world that profits off of women not feeling good enough, not, thinking they look good enough, not, feeling beautiful enough, not being thin enough, not being thick enough, not having, not being independent enough, not being dependent enough. There's so many things that we are supposed to fit into this weird shaped mold. That society expects us to be and portrays through, commercials or social media or music videos or whatever. And so it profits over us being insecure and not, having high self-esteem in ourselves. And so there's also, regards to our culture, sometimes people minimize your job. Like, there could be somebody who's a lawyer making 6 figures and, they're looking down on you because you're doing what you love, but you maybe only making $30,000 a year, and so now you feel lower of a person in yourself because you're not making the amount of money that this person is making. And so now you feel like, oh, I gotta knock what I love and go pursue a career that I'm not gonna like, but it's gonna make me that money that everybody says I'm supposed to be making. When you make it a habit to belittle yourself, you're gonna feel crappy. Like, you may not walk around every day with your head, hanging down, but your self-esteem might be shattered. Your self-confidence, your happiness, all of these things might be shattered because of that. Now, I say these things in order to fix it. Is 1, know your triggers. 2, noticing, when you start to do that negative talk to yourself. And 3, committing. So your, recognition. I always say make a list. I'm really big on lists for like everything and writing things down. So you might hear this a lot in a lot of my videos, but make a list of different areas in your life. So it can be your relationship, your friendships, your body appearance, your work, career, parenting, past, future, whatever it is. Make a list of areas in your life that are very important to yourself. Acknowledge which ones are affecting you the most. So which ones, when you look at that, affect how you feel or criticizing yourself the most. Then under those, what words would you not want others to think about you or use, in regards to describing you under those words? Now, I know some people are like, why do I have to do this? But my thing is, you can't clean up a mess if you don't see where it's messy. Okay? So once you write this stuff down and you really realize, what it is that is, causing you to feel a certain way, or things that you don't want, people to list you as under these categories. Like, for example, under your body appearance, you don't want people to see you as ugly or, you smell or whatever, Under work or career, you don't want people to see you as lazy or somebody who doesn't deserve a promotion or can't get stuff done or always late. So understanding that and really being able to see what your triggers are. For example, making a mistake. I've talked about it kind of earlier in the video, but when you make a mistake, don't quickly call yourself names or beat yourself up about it or assume what people are thinking about you. But do acknowledge that you made a mistake, and say to yourself, everybody makes mistakes. It's okay. I'm going to fix this and we're going to move past it. So knowing your triggers, of being seen a certain way and realizing when you're being triggered. So like I said in the mistake, once you make that mistake and you're realizing that, oh my God, this is my trigger, or you might start to say something negative and stop yourself and realizing that, let me stop here. It's okay. Ashley, I made the mistake. It's all right. We're going to do this. Speak kindly to yourself, because what you claim on the inside is what you'll be. So guys, that's the end of this video. Remember that we all struggle with being an inner critic. Maybe not all of us, but a lot of us do struggle with being, your own inner critic. And there's ways to really get out of that and really love yourself, ladies, okay? Biggest thing I always talk about with self-love is really, really, really understanding how to love yourself. And learning both ways, what you need to feel love and what you're doing that's not loving yourself. So stay tuned for the rest of my videos, guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button